Hello, everyone. We're here, NIPS IRL. So NIPS IRL started at the first Nostr conference back at Nostrica in Costa Rica a few months ago. It hasn't even been a year. But Nostr grows very quickly. 3 of the original NIPS IRL panelists are here, Vanessa and Elidy, and now Nostr is growing, and we have new people, beautiful people, Ewelina and Anna here with us. And why an all-women's panel, Vanessa? Because this was your idea.
Yes, it was an idea over, some wine and chats with people at Nostrica, and I think we were just chatting. It's so important to have this panel because this is how we grow Nostr, right? It's not going to be about all the technical people. Sorry, they're all here in the front, but it's about the people using Nostr in different ways, and that's why I'm so glad that we have some of the new people here on the panel. So for us, this is the most important, and I hope that there's going to be more like this, not just women, but other groups that are able to come and speak and use this, because that is truly how we will scale.
Okay, so I'm going to do a round of introductions. Before we start, this isn't some woke panel, but we put a bunch of women here because we're woke. Nah, fuck that shit. We're here because there's a lot of talk about like Nostr's just Bitcoiners. No, it's like a lot of people and we're creating new communities, and it's slowly going to be growing into different topics, exactly like that. So I'm going to start with a round of introductions. I want my beautiful friend over there to start introducing herself.
Nice intro. My name is Anna. I've been working for the development of Bitcoin tools for like many years already, and it's a pleasure to be here. I run a trading platform called HODL, and I also organize a conference, a Bitcoin-only, the longest-running Bitcoin-only conference in the world, the Baltic Honey Badger Riga conference.
Woo! The best. Some claps.
Just a few things.
Hey everyone, I'm Elidy, and I've been helping with the design of the conference, so the banners, the t-shirts, trying to tell your story through kind of a visual point of view.
Hello everyone, my name is Ewelina. I am just a regular Nostr user, so if you like food and if you are interested in food, not food, then you probably follow the hashtag Foodster, so you can mainly see my pictures there, I guess.
And I'm Vanessa, so I work on the Damas team. I called myself the COO, but I mean, I kind of do a little bit here and there, and excited to chat today. I'm working on marketing Nostr in general and Damas and trying to build this community. So.
And this is the second time today I'm here. So I'm Marce. I one of the organizers of the conference. I do the Nostr report, and I do marketing and PR for Bitcoin companies. So yeah, that's us. That's the NIPS here. So this panel is actually pretty open. We want everyone to be asking questions constantly. But one of the things that I want to get started with is understand for you, Anna and Ewelina, that are new on Nostr for this panel, because you're not new on Nostr, but you're like the newer users. How did it feel to come into Nostr?
It was an interesting experience. I'm still a little bit. I'm very curious about Nostr. I'm very bullish about Nostr, but I'm still sinful of using Twitter too much, which, yeah, is not the best thing that I do. But unfortunately, we've been using it for quite some time already with all the Bitcoin community, and it was always a surprise for me how like so many freedom-loving people can use a solution that it's so wrong at its core model, like so centralized and things. But Nostr is totally a different thing, and also I've been always like missing on the whole social media part. As much as everyone here, I understand how important it is to have a social media that is free, that is the freedom of speech, because if Bitcoin is like freedom of money for us, Nostr is a freedom of speech, and yeah, using it is what we still lack, using it more. But I'm bullish on it.
There's no shame on using Twitter. That's
No,
fine.
use it more to bring people here. Like that, we have to do that. There's no other way. We can't just expect this group to do it on their own. Like we have to get out there. So keep it up, in my opinion.
And yeah, what about me? I didn't found Nostr on my own, so it was thanks to my partner, who is a more technical person than I am. I mean, I'm really bad when it comes to any technical things. So he was the one who started to check it. And after some time, he said, like, look, I found this really cool place with very open, nice people. I think you should check it. So I say, I give it a try, and I stay longer, and I think it's amazing. I did not have much expectations at the beginning because, like I said, this whole technical part of it, it's still for me pretty difficult to understand. So I still ask a lot of questions, but I try to understand. I really try my best to understand. So that's why I'm very happy to be here and to participate in all those panels, to talk, to listen to all you guys talking and explaining things to us. Which I'm very grateful for, but I think it's like you said, it's an incredible place. You can meet amazing people who are very friendly, very helpful. It's completely different than all the other places I know, all the other social media, which especially if you are a new person and you just enter the new platform, it's usually very difficult to find people, you know, with the same interests and yeah. So I love it. I love it. I always recommend it to everyone. And I spend so much time, probably way too much time there. But what can you do? Nostr is addictive, so, you know, you have to try.
And Elidy and Vanessa, you've been on Nostr for a while, basically from the start. How do you see when we first started? Like back in March, we were somewhere. Where do you feel we're at now?
Wow, that's a good question. I think that we are continuing on this path of building and seeing how Nostr evolves. I think we're getting to a point where maybe more creators are coming in. And they're coming in because more tools for creators are getting built, like Nostr, which allows musicians to upload their work, or I don't know, there's just been more focus on the details. And I like where it's headed. I hope there's a lot more creators coming in because that's going to give Nostr life. And it not only gives it life, but it attracts more people. So whenever creators come in, there's people that follow them. So it's a good sign.
Yeah, I was actually just asked this by somebody out in the lounge there of where we're at and where we're going. And I would say before we started this over a month now on the road Damas Remote tour, I had a different answer, which was I'm not really sure. You know, we're obviously very excited and you know, you get into your own space and think, oh, it's amazing. But having done this tour of various places and talking to people and onboarding them in real life, which is amazing, I think we're even further than I thought in terms of the energy and the support. But it's gonna take a lot of work. You know, obviously there's so much to do. There's so much, not just development-wise, but other things. So I'd say I'm even more excited than I was when we first started this, but also excited to get back to work because it just energizes our team and meeting the team too, like our team live in these places has been incredible. Not just our core team, but other people who are contributing, like meeting the translators here in Japan, meeting the Japanese people who are literally doing all these things, keychains of my best friend that now I can carry him with me everywhere I go. You know, that's amazing that people care this much about Nostr.
One of the things that we talked about in the first NIPS IRL panel was that as women, we tend to censor ourselves a lot because like we are taught in, like, we grew up in a culture, even all of us, we're all from different backgrounds, different countries, different areas of the world, but the one thing we can all find in common is that we're always thought to be like, don't share too much, be very posed, women are not funny, you're supposed to say the right thing at all times, be supportive of your partners, of the men out there building the things. But when I came to Nostr, I realized first, like, oh, people actually think I'm funny. They actually want to hear what I have to say. No one cares if I'm too dumb. Like, my questions can be asked, and everyone will be nice enough to answer or have more questions behind my question. And actually, my opinion matters. So that's super cool for me. That hasn't changed. Are you guys afraid that as Nostr grows, we're going to go back to the same model that we have on traditional social media where it is like that? And how do you think we can avoid for that to happen?
Oh, it's a good question, actually. It is, because I think it's unavoidable to some extent, and at some point when the mass adoption comes, it's going to be there, because this is how life is. And if you go to any like social media, the whole point of using social media for most of the people to be pretending to be perfect, and your whole life should be perfect. But that's what I love about our community. It's still small, we're still early, but Bitcoin has taught me how not to be perfect, how not to try to be perfect, because it's just being me, real me. Being Bitcoiner for me means being real me, and not a pretending fake person I used to be, using like other social media before, hanging out with normies and stuff. Yeah. Speaking of how you can avoid it, I don't know, to be honest.
Yeah, personally, I think we have a unique opportunity right now to build this in a certain way. I mean, I'm biased because I've got a developer that listens to me sometimes. But, I think we have conversations about this a lot, right, in terms of how do we keep this nature of this community in the way it is. There's certain things that are inevitable, but we can put tools in place. I mean, there were lots of conversations yesterday about censorship and how do we prevent this and how do we do this. We can have those conversations and hopefully find ways to avoid it becoming what you're talking about. It may not be perfect, and in fact, that's probably the best way, but at least we're in charge of it. And I think as long as people are still willing to give us the feedback and talk to us and be honest, then we can actively figure out ways to avoid that. So that's the only thing I can think of, is that we are in charge of it. There's no, corporate person telling us this is what you have to do, right? So that's the only tool, I guess, we have against that happening. I agree with you. I can't believe people actually find me funny. I never had laughs before, and that they love, and I said 2 days ago when I was presenting, like, I haven't had any real negative interactions, which is insane. And I post a lot of photos of our family, and some people disagree with that, but it's not in a negative way. It's just in a, concern for privacy and all that kind of stuff. But that's our choice, and people can do what they want. As long as everybody has the ability to do what they want, and we keep it that way, I think we're in a good place. So,
I think that I agree with you that one of Nostr's biggest strengths is that there isn't one group of people that kind of decides over everything. So having groups of developers look at problems in different ways means that they're finding different solutions for it. I also think that part of it is that once you come into Nostr, you realize you have a voice. And having that freedom to have a voice and to be kind of that supportive niche makes you grow. And I hope that other people who join, and other women who join in particular, will discover that freedom, and that will keep them here, and that will help the community grow. And how can we prevent becoming, another something that's just focused on popularity or something like that. I think it depends on a change of culture and also on discovering your own niche. I think we all love how the community relates to one another, and I think people will find that welcoming and refreshing. So there's great hope in there, and I think we can prevent falling back into different things just because we're there, we're human, we're being more alive, more real, more flawed, imperfect, but we're also working on so many other solutions. And everyone can participate, which is something that doesn't happen in platforms. So it's good.
I agree with you all, but I love it now because I think that now we are still pretty small community, you can say, and people are really very good in judging fakeness. So if you are not yourself, if you pretend to be someone you are not, people like nearly immediately figure it out. And they don't agree with it, they don't accept it, not that they are rude or... But they let you know that this is not a place, you know, for fakeness and pretending to be someone who you are really not. How it's going to look in the future as community grows and more people are coming, I have no idea. Probably we're going to have more issues about this, but it's normal, I guess. But so far, I think that if we stay as good as we are, and if we stay as we are, we won't have such a situations, and we can really create something amazing, like you all said. Everyone can find something for themselves. So I really hope that more women will come around, because I'm missing them a little bit. It's a world dominated by men so far, but we are working to change it, and yeah, I hope we can keep it growing.
Okay, so last time we had the NIPS IRL panel, we had more people because it was later and no one was hangover. So, but the few people that are here, I really want to hear your thoughts. I can't see much because the light is blinding me, but I see one girl right there, and I want to hear what you have to say on this question.
Could you please repeat the question one more time?
Yes. So my question basically, because I don't remember the exact words I said, but basically it was like, you're free on Nostr to be who you are, and that's beautiful, and we're not scared to be women. So how do you feel we can keep that, and do you think if as it grows it's going to go away, or how do we protect it?
Yeah, so I'm relatively new to Nostr. It's a very interesting ecosystem. I'm someone who's very bullish on decentralized, open source, permissionless, everything, especially when it comes to social media. So I love what's happening there. I think something that is very needed, and that's been expressed throughout the entirety of Nostrasia, is that we need more quote-unquote normies on there. I know that's controversial to say. But I would love to see just more regular people talking about regular things, to the point where we don't need the Grow Nostr hashtag anymore. In terms of how I feel that might change things in the long term, I'm not particularly worried about that, honestly. I think there isn't really much moderation, I guess, overall with the protocol, which can be seen as a bad thing. But it's also good because it really fully gives people the freedom to say and do what they want. And I think also, depending on what clients you use or relays you use, it also gives people the ability to tailor their experience. So you essentially create whatever kind of universe you want to create while you're on the app. And so I wouldn't really worry too much about what if the overall nature of this, that, and the third changes, because at the end of the day, it's the technology is going to do what it's going to do. And you decide how you want to operate within those spaces and who you want to connect with and what content you want to create and so on and so forth.
Great. I'm thinking while we're all here, and we're just talking about the protocol as a social media protocol, but it's we're forgetting about the other stuff. And I think the other stuff is also super useful. What other stuff do you think we can create? Well, not me, I'm not creating anything, Jeff. what do you think I should tell you to create? No, but basically, yeah, it's like other stuff, right? There's more things that we could do. There's marketplaces. You have a peer-to-peer platform. What kind of use cases, like real life, do you see that we can do with the other stuff?
As I said, I'm super bullish on Nostr, and I'm very excited and happy to learn about all the things people build on Nostr. I think I'm just not there yet myself, because the solution that we have, for example, for the Bitcoin trading, it's perfect as it is right now. I mean, at some point, probably switching to a Nostr model would make sense. But at this point, I would say we're good. So I'm just here to learn about what other people are building, what are the potential use cases, and genuinely curious about it.
Well, if I have to hear about this every day, most days before coffee, about all of these other things that can be built on Nostr, which I'm happy to learn about. But yeah, I couldn't believe the power that this thing has, because when I heard about, first of all, the last panel I explained, I had no idea what a protocol was at all until, well, he started talking about it in December, and then I was asking again, and maybe midsummer I sort of understood it. And so I think it's incredible what we can do. Anything to replace Slack would be great. But beyond that, I think, it's the sky's the limit, right? The marketplace stuff is exciting. I like to hear from our users about what they want, and we do hear you. We put it into a list. I was talking actually with you yesterday about our roadmap, and, take a look at it. And if you guys want to suggest some things, or again, beyond the social media stuff, we're happy to hear it. So it's very exciting.
Ewelina, your take as a food content creator would be super cool to hear.
That's a very good question. I mean, I'm particularly interested in streaming. I think that this is a very nice tool. I mean, it started, so we've got a gaming. If you are a gamer, you can join, you can see. Even I was playing a little bit, so maybe you saw my struggling. No, but yeah, I think this is a very nice tool, and I'm super interested about it. I was even thinking about doing my own streaming, with cooking, because some people ask me, oh, it would be cool, if you could share, recipes or show us how you do this or that. I still really cannot find this time, as I'm traveling pretty a lot. But yeah, I'm super excited about it, and I would love to see other people's passions. Because I think that we, like you said, we, from my perspective, we a little bit lacking this normality, like normal people, not just super technical people who are interested in technical part of everything. No, just normal, regular, usual civilians, all of us, yeah. And it would be cool to see your passions. One person one likes gaming, the other person like cooking, the other one is a gardener. Why not sharing all those passions with others? I think we need it. Let's make it more friendly for the regular people. And yeah, I think this is something I'm really interested in, and I would love it to be a little bit more popular and people to use it more often. Thank you.
I think Elidy is the most technical person from all of us. She built a website. She has worked in different types of clients. So you do see the other stuff. Can you tell us a little bit about what you work on and how that can be amplified by other people as well?
Well, I feel like I'm just dipping my toes into Nostr. But I do think that Nostr has the capacity to bring out the creator in each of us. So, I've looked a little bit into Stemster, and a good example of it is that somebody uploads, say, a voice track, and it kind of gets rid of all of the third parties, so you don't have to go through a publishing company, you don't have to do anything but sit at your laptop or phone and record your voice. You upload it on Stemster, and what happens? The community is there, it's paying attention, and then somebody makes a beat that goes with it. And then somebody else takes a clipping and creates a different song. See, it's a different kind of creating that doesn't exist anywhere else. And I think if Nostr focuses on different ways of allowing creators to build, but not, see, you don't need any special people. We're all creative as human beings. So whatever it is that Nostr can build to support that, then I think it will help. The other thing is, I think you arrive at Nostr, and if you don't know anyone on Nostr, you can't really find the content sometimes. I know a lot of work is being done, like NostrDB, like search on Primal, things like that. I think that's going to be a very, very big part of this. If people can arrive and follow topics like you can on Damus, or just be able to react in different ways to things, like with zaps, different emojis, all those things that we're seeing grow, then I think that will help. One aspect of it, though, is I think maybe we're lacking a little bit on education as far as what an NSEC is, how to keep your keys safe, make sure that you don't enter your NSEC into a web browser, that you use an extension. So people learn about those things and learn how important that side of things is so they don't run into trouble in the future. But overall, I think it's just supporting the creativity that we carry within, and whatever gets built for that is going to be a good solution.
There's Nostr that how for all of those out there that need to learn how to use Nostr. I want to hear from everyone out in the audience. I don't know how much time we have. Where are we? Oh, cool.
All the questions.
All the questions from our
for NIPS in real life and also online. I'm sure we can take some questions too. So, yes, the man.
I'm kind of curious. It's predominantly male population, Nostr, I assume. What can we do to make your life easier and to bring in more ladies to Nostr? Because I think it's definitely going to bring much better atmosphere, better vibes. And I would love to see way more ladies than what we have today.
I have something to say about that. So Nostr is super cool. I love the environment, and all of you, I have no complaints at all. But it requires thick skin. I get some comments on my post that I'm sure I would get it on any social media. But some people are very out there. I get some DMs that are very out there. I know I'm not the only one living through that experience. I don't care because I've learned to ignore those things. But if you want more women on Nostr, I don't know, you guys could put those people in check. I think that's something that you as men have to do because they won't listen to us. But you guys have the power to put those comments and those DMs on check. Why? That's a good question.
Yeah, I would say not just women. I've talked about this a lot. I think we need to have all different types of people, different groups that not necessarily are welcomed currently based on the group that is dominating Nostr right now. So I think, support for them. So repost stuff that maybe you wouldn't normally. Don't be afraid to support groups or people that you believe in. Because I think traditional social media, people are afraid of that based on pushback they're going to get or whatever. So if you believe in something, a cause or a group or women or whatever, please show that support and be confident to show that support. I'm even struggling with it still, because I wasn't a social media user. So now it's, it's encouraging me to do so because I want those people to feel comfortable here. Also, I think we need to build tools. Not me, Will, you, build tools to encourage other people to be here. There's some people I've met this week and in the last couple of weeks that are what you'd call traditional influencer type people on Instagram, and they've given us some great ideas. Stories, Instagram-like features, I think are going to be really important. And some people disagree, but realistically, we're going to build what we think is going to bring people because we believe that they should be here. So I think those types of tools and also some of the stuff that's been discussed in terms of hashtags and how those are used, and making it, again, comfortable for people, and how do we make sure that new people are not seeing really horrible content and then leaving, right? Retention, as we've discussed, I think a couple times over the last 3 days, is so important for us, at least the Domus team. So all those things, I think, will help to encourage. And I would say also, I'll call my mom out again, because she was happy that I mentioned her in the first day. She's watching now. Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad. She was really uncomfortable at first because she just didn't understand everything, but she's learning, and she looks at every podcast and reads things, and we'll sit with her and show her different things. So I would encourage people to, I think Derek said it too, sit with somebody, onboard them yourself, and make them understand why they should be here, and that's always a better way to get people interested.
Yes, I agree, and I would say being supportive is super important, but be patient as well. I know that some questions are asked over and over again, but if you are a new person, you feel a little bit lost. So maybe instead of, just giving a like under the picture of comment, try to comment, try to repost, try to interact somehow, to encourage these people, because if someone's coming new and you see the message in the global, you may not discover it, but, I may not see it, maybe you see it. If you repost it or if you write a comment, there's a bigger chance that I'm going to see it and I'm going to connect to this girl. And she will find us, other girls, other women, and she will feel more welcome, and it would be much more easier. So, I think that just try to interact a little bit more. And like I said, patience. Patience is super important, because it's not that there are, of course, girls who are super into technical things, and they are very bright, and they are programmers, coders, and they are excellent. But there are a lot of those regular people who just discover things, and at the beginning can be really, really very. You can feel lost, I think. So just help them to find us, to find other people. I guess that's it.
Follow Ewelina.
Yes.
A big one.
I think that part of this being sort of a developer Bitcoiner community quite often means that it's a network primarily of men, but that doesn't mean that there aren't women in all of the developers' lives, right? So I think one of the ways that this could be helped is if you talk to your girlfriends, to your wives, to your sisters, to the women that you know, and you try to onboard them onto Nostr. And then you can figure out what issues they're having, what kind of tools they need, and bring them into the awareness that this exists, but also that it can empower them in different ways, and that it can give them a voice that they don't have in other places, and that they don't need to be fake or popular. They can just be themselves, and I think that's a big selling point.
I would say the most important thing you can obviously do is just keep building, because most of you guys, you're working on such an important thing, and it's important that you just keep doing that. And onboarding women is, I guess, on us partially as well, but from what you can do additionally, because Marce brought up a really good point, because it's kind of hard to be a woman in a space full of men. And I would just say, learn how to treat people nicely. Just be nice and don't tolerate others not being nice. And if you see something like that, step in, be supportive. Yeah.
I will add something to that. I think that Nostr is creating a lot of tools that may help with content moderation, and I'd love to see how that grows and how women will be able to look at their settings and adjust for things so that it protects them a little bit more.
This is amazing.
To that as well, the fact is that, okay, this is a panel and it's just women here, but it's not to segregate ourselves from everyone else. It's just we actually want this panel with us here and have all of you, if is a lot of men here listening to us, because we don't want to be set apart. We have something else to bring in, and we want to be put in the same place. That I hate all women events in the middle of Bitcoin conferences. I hate them. I'm sorry. I love the people that put them together. But to me, it's like, this is just taking me away from work and building. I don't want another, like if I just want to sit down with my friends and talk and have a drink, we do this all the time. Like, you girls are like part of my life now, and we sit down and just talk, and we text and have groups, and we can do that whenever, and we can complain about, oh, life's so hard, men are so complicated. Yes, we can do that, but don't let us segregate ourselves. Don't let us do that, and invite us over so that there is no need to have in the middle of a conference an event for just women. Like, why? No need for that. Okay, I forgot I was moderating this panel. So
back to the question.
Back to the questions. Anyone else has another question?
Oh no! Don't give him the mic. Oh God!
Don't censor him.
Oh yeah, shit.
So we're a part of this community where the majority of the community is like male and very technical male typically. So and that tends to bias the way we build our clients. So we kind of are designing it in a completely biased way. So I'm curious, what are the things that we're missing in terms of the other perspective, and what could we be adding? Like, what is a feature that you don't see in a lot of clients that you guys would like to see more of in our clients?
I think Elidy brought a really good one about like tools to be able to moderate our comments or what we can see. Because the cool thing about Nostr is that I get to see what I want to see. If I don't like Will, I can just mute him, and that's it. I don't have to follow.
And you don't have to automatically follow him anymore, by the way. We removed that. But
I would like to be able to just ignore certain things that I don't need to listen. I really don't need to listen. I really don't need to see gives about how I'm sitting down on a panel. That's completely unnecessary.
I go back to the thought of discovery, because I think, especially as women, like, I never really quite joined Facebook. I'm not a big fan of the data gathering or Instagram. I was on Twitter at some point in time, but I disagree with the practices as of late. So I left Twitter, and I really value Nostr, and I wish there was more I could discover in it, that I could really dig deep into kind of the creative spirit that's out there, because I know it's out there. All of the information that's been carrying around, I need to be able to discover it, and to come onto Nostr and say, oh my gosh, it's a beautiful sunrise, And I know it's there. It's just a matter of working on it, and I know you're all working on it. So I'm really hopeful about what's to come. And maybe something about not arriving at a global feed that just shares a lot of stuff. If you could arrive there and select topics more easily, it would make a world of difference. And thank you all for your work, because I've seen how it's developed over time, and it's kind of amazing that so much has gotten done so quickly, and that any suggestion anybody has, no matter how many followers you have, that's the thing. There's not a focus on followers, there's a focus on thought. And if you have a good idea, it's something that can be made happen. And it's something that's added to the to-do list of all of these wonderful clients. So I like that. I feel like over time we'll really see some growth in the ways that we connect with each other.
Okay, I'm gonna say that discovery is obviously a very important thing, and my main problem right now probably would be finding new people, new content besides the people that are here and I already know and I'm friends with them. I would be really curious to connect with more people with the same easiness Twitter allows us to. And the other thing, I'm not even sure if it's fixable somehow, but I'm a perfectionist myself, and with Nostr it's kind of hard, because like even with Twitter now you can like edit the stuff you post like afterwards, but with Nostr, once it's there, and sometimes perfectionist within me be just like outraged,
Typos.
Yeah, that's true. I miss a little bit this editing. Sometimes it can get me in trouble. But yeah, anyway, I cannot really compare to like Twitter because I was never on Twitter, so I don't even really know how it works and what is this about. But I've got a problem with searching people. I think this is still a little bit of issue. Like I try to, but it's not always easy. So yeah, I want to find someone and still got the problem to do it. And like you've mentioned, the topics. It would be great if we could somehow figure out the way how to connect the topics and connect to people through the topics. So maybe I don't know. Maybe hashtags are the way. I don't know. This is, like I said, more technical question to all of you who create. But yeah, it would be great if we could find the solution to somehow connect topic to the people, and allow us to search each other much more easily than it's right now.
Funny story, Anna and me discovered yesterday that we did not follow each other. We spent a lot of time together.
Happens.
Go.
So you were just mentioning how you can't find people. I was trying to find you, Ewelina, on Nostr. Couldn't find you, but Verbice, thank you for pointing out the profile. And then the topics, I see, I'm so thankful for you five because I see you as a leaders in certain tags. I only now learned, Ewelina, you do Foodster.
Yes.
So that's good. With D.
Yes, with D, that's important.
And then
the other one is more for Walker.
Not those.
Well, just so you know, Vanessa, you're already on Foodster.
Oh,
so.
I anticipated it.
Yeah.
But I realized I was wearing sandals that were really shiny and hitting my eyes, so that's why I wasn't just trying to do it. But I also
Let's go.
Obviously we miss Carla. This is for you, Carla.
Oh yeah.
Because she can't be here. She has a very important thing she's doing. But it's true.
Yeah, but you and Marce are kind of leaders in that marketing topic, and then Elidy, the design work you do is just amazing. Again, the website you've done for Nostrika, I see what you're talking about, being so early and having opportunity to lead the way. It's great. Anna, of course, product. I wish you would post more on Nostr about product because you are a product person at Hodl. So maybe a little nudge.
I do it with the corporate account, not with my personal, though.
Okay, yeah. But my question to you is, who are other, females and women account that you would individually suggest that people follow on Nostr? And yeah, please don't say Roya. So
Carla.
No, I was going to say we can do a new hashtag.
I would love it.
Yeah, and actually this came up. We did a Nostr Nest a little while ago about female developers on Nostr because there's actually quite a few. Sherry is here, who has traveled from Bali to Hong Kong. She was just at the Nostrasia. She's now here. She injured herself. Oh, there she is. But she's still here. Woo! She tried to do the 5 a.m. run. And yeah. So amazing people like Sherry, and there's a lot of others. So, we could do a hashtag, women in Nostr, whatever we want to say. I think, the more you put the names out there, and not just developers, obviously, but anyone who is interested in growing this community, I think we should share that. Maybe there's a way, we can do this better. How can we group people? Anyways, we'll think about it.
Pillow talk. It's a song, guys. What are you thinking? Anyone else want to answer?
Yes, I would like to add, especially as now we are in Japan, in Tokyo, and I think that some of you get the chance to meet some of amazing local people who participate in our conference. I don't know if any of you met or had the chance to meet Avayuki. She's a great creator. She creates amazing things. You can see her T-shirts, hoodies. So she's really amazing person. I know that still it's a little bit problematic. As we are talking about problems with translators, this is the thing which is still a little bit difficult because Yeah, there was a whole panel about it. Like they communicate in completely different way than we do. But try it. Try to follow her. Look at her work. Look at amazing projects she does, and yeah, give it a chance.
Wow. That makes me think of several people, but at the same time, on how hard it is sometimes to discover them. And I think it depends on what you like. So I remember, for example, some posts with your mom, Vanessa, Rose, right? There's a couple of musicians I really enjoy their music, and I'm terrible with names. Everyone, I'm so sorry, because maybe this means I need to create a list of women that I follow after this. Lister, right? I could use that. Then there's... See, I'm terrible with names, but what's your name? I do know you comment. Can you repeat it? Elidy. Elidy has some wonderful posts out there as well. Let me think. I think we do need a hashtag, Vanessa. Yeah. Definitely. Then there's Susie, there's Lynn Alden, of course, who does wonderful posts. I know there's a few activists who have arrived at Nostr. And so we should look into making a list.
Well, when we were in Bali, like Rhea, who organized the first Indonesian Bitcoin conference, if you follow her, she has access to a lot of people that attended that one. Mary, who was on a panel with Will in Bali as well, who is a gamer, actually using the streaming service on Nostr. She was on Twitch actually quite successfully, but has converted now to Nostr. She lives in Ghana. She's also part of the African Bitcoin conference, and she made Elliot a little turtle that's so cute in my post. So if you follow me, you can find her. Like, there's just tons, and I think, again, we need to find ways to encourage people to follow these amazing creators.
Jillian also helped us a lot during the event, and she had several posts on Japan. Yeah.
I think she's outside doing my job right now, so thank you, Jillian.
I would love to follow everyone you just mentioned, but I know how much of a struggle that would be. So speaking back to the pain points that we still need to address, but I guess make sure you follow Marce, because make sure that don't do the same mistake I did, because at least follow Nostr report, because what Marce does with Nostr report is amazing, and all you manage to cover is wow, I give you the best credits.
I don't do it by myself, because if not, I wouldn't be able to do it.
Yeah.
We have there's a group of people. It's I could give you a list, but it's men, and we're just listing women. But yeah, the guys with the Nostr report, we all do it together.
That's impressive what you guys do.
Thank you. I follow Anna too. Don't make the mistake I did of not following her.
And I promise to post more content on my personal account.
And Hodl account as well. So this has been NIPS IRL 2nd edition. There's one coming up in a few days at Bitcoin Park at Nostrville. So that one is going to have the other part of the other half of the initial crew, and some more cool women at it. So please tune in for that one. And if you're going to Nostrville, sorry. If you're going to Nostrville, go watch it and ask questions. And yeah, this was cool. It's always a pleasure to be here with you guys. So thank you. Thank you, ladies. I love you all.
Thank you so much. We love you too.